Whenever I go back to the UK, a must for me is a portion of our traditional food. Our traditional food.
Mm. Yeah.
Of course, I do eat the imported stuff too, but fish and chips for me is a must.
Mm.
Fish chips and bits, the bits of those battery bits that come off the fish in the process of being fried.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have them in the south, but in the north, they come to be somewhat of a delicacy.
Oh, well.
The
We're slightly
bits
more refined and civilized in the south, you know.
you probably export them to the north by the truckload. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
there was an article which I picked up the other day claiming that fish and chip shops will become a thing of the past in the next 5 years. And no, not because of stiff competition from kebab shops and pizza joints, although they don't help matters, but because of the extra expense put on the chippies, which will make them unviable over the following years. So business rates going up by the government, fuel costs by Ed blowing in the wind milliband, the spike in the price of cooking oil, and now just on time, the price of cod going up 100%. Something to do with EU fishing quotas, even though the North Sea has fish. Talk about getting a smack in the eye with a wet fish. Like, now, in the 1920s, there were around 35,000 chippies around the country. And in 2025, there were only 11,000. So less than a third
Mm.
of what they used to be. So to keep in business, the fish and chip shop has had to diverse to offer battered sausages, burgers, even economy fish slices
Mm.
for the people who didn't have that much money to buy a cod.
Yeah.
To be fair, this has been going on in the 70s and 80s since the UK had that cod war with
Mm.
Iceland
Mm.
from the 50s until the end of the 70s.
Yeah.
Cod was replaced with whiting back then
Mm.
in many shops, and also haddock was introduced also, as the cod prices and indeed access were extremely difficult to manage at the
Mm.
time.
Yeah.
I was a kid. So what is going to happen to the chippy? Will the owners need to diverse even further and sell kebabs like the competition? Or will there always be a place in the UK for, as Peter Kay would put it, a chippy tea?
Mm. Okay. Well, um, I suppose the old adage, yeah, use partly use it or lose it comes to mind. Um, People like to have a pizza on a Friday night as opposed to a chippy. They go to a chip shop, get something from the chip shop. Um, which I don't know value for money. Um,
If the pizzas are cheap.
yeah, and um, yeah, it's a bit exciting. A pizza is possibly for some. It's global. It's Americanization from Italian concept. Um, yeah, the Italians hate American pizzas, from what I understand. Um, and it's a yeah, okay, it's competition. And what happens? People, I mean, yeah, you and I, we like various different foods and everything else. Yes, when I was last back in the UK, yeah, I had a few chips, a few Friday afternoons on my way home from work. I went and got myself some chips, a portion of chips and fish, simply because, or meat pie and chips actually. But yeah, that's yeah, the thing is about the fish, traditional fish and chips. I teach about it here in lessons because you ask a Brazilian what about the UK, and somewhere in it they're going to mention fish and chips. Um, yeah, it's our traditional dish. Whether or not it's probably the one universal thing, like you say, you got the chip, the bits as well, which Yeah, okay, but yeah, it's probably universal across the UK. You go there, you know what you're getting, a bit like a McDonald's, probably. Although McDonald's has the same taste everywhere you go. You go to different fish and chip shops, and they'll have a different taste sometimes. And we've all got our favourite Chippy. I've yet to someone say they've got their favourite McDonald's to go to. Yeah. Um, so yeah, it's a sad thing. I'm surprised there's as many as 11,000, if I'm being honest. Having lived when last in the UK, seeing a lot of yeah, demise of the chip shop, where there used to be two or three chip shops in a village, not a town, on the same street sometimes. Okay, the street could be, I don't know, 1.5 kilometers long or something, or just in the vicinity. It's gone down to one. Um, okay, well, this goes in with your third on that point, but I'd say whether or not we say it's tradition, um, yeah, I mean, it depends where you are. It in recent years on TV and everything, it got associated very much with a lower income in the UK, going to the chippy, yeah, working lower working class almost. Um,
Considering the
and
stuff, they
sorry,
might have gone to the chip shop to buy chips,
yeah,
just and just come back with some fried potatoes. But to buy fish and chips these days, I
mm,
was looking at one of the cheap places to buy fish and chips in the UK now is £7.
mm, yeah,
£7 for a portion of fish and chips.
yeah. I mean, I
It's
used
cheap.
I used to stop off on a Friday at funny enough, a major supermarket chain. I can't remember which one it was. It's one of four, but I just used to have my they I don't know if they had a special for fish and chips on a Friday at a certain time or something. Um, so yeah, mine was in a supermarket. It wasn't a great tasting fish and chips, but like you said, the price was right, and you guaranteed a seat. Sat down there. I mean, I could have taken it. No, I couldn't have had it wrapped. They didn't wrap it. You had to eat it in their facilities. Um, yeah, but there's still something special about going to the chippy, the smell of the chip shop. Yeah. You're going in there. You eventually, if you went regularly enough to a chip shop, it used to be part of the community as well. You used to go and meet old Ethel in the chip shop and people like that. Yeah. Um, and just find out what was going on, or check on people. There'd be the old person going in there. You knew they were still alive. They were all right. You saw them healthy, healthy eating fish and chips. But yeah, which is another thing as well. Don't forget, there's also been in recent times. You turn on the internet and health fads. Yeah, healthy eating. Um, oh, you got to cut down on this. You got to cut down on that. Um, we're not all top flight athletes.
No.
Um, and when you get to middle age, you're not going to aspire to be that. Okay, you mustn't overindulge and bring on coroners or things like that. But yeah, every so often, it's nice to have that fish and chips um, without worrying about the calories. You know me, Steve. And yeah, I mean,
No, I don't worry about the calories, and that's why I'm so overweight, but I don't care. Not
yeah,
anymore.
I do watch it a
My
bit.
age.
Yeah, yes. My wife, who is Brazilian, lived in the UK. She loved fish and chips occasionally. Fun enough, and she sees a picture now. That it will flash up on TV or something, or a Brazilian idea of UK. There they are. Yeah, normally followed by an image of a guy in a bowler hat, but we don't have many of them anymore. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're talking now. It's dinner time now. Well, coming up to dinner now. You're making me feel quite hungry, actually. I don't normally crave for British food, but yes, I think of all things, it's something I do sometimes think about. It's partly because I teach it, yeah, and show a picture of a fish and chip meal. Um, yeah, I mean, and there is competition as well. You can go and buy very cheap bags of chips, frozen chips from the supermarket. You can also buy frozen fish, battered fish. You throw it in wherever you throw it in, you into the oven, or you can even get it now. It's microwavable. Pretty awful, by the way. I wouldn't even try that. They are horrible. But yeah, um, but yeah, we got more access and more choice now. We don't have to pay, unfortunately, the higher prices. Um, we can eat in. A mother can feed her kids, you know, if the if so like the woman does happen to have 2.4 children still, yeah, she just cuts the top off the chip bag, puts it in the puts it in the frying pan or whatever she does it on the bottom, and she doesn't have to make it herself. Cut the apples, cut the tomato, cut the potatoes herself, and do everything else like that. Um, and yeah, just she's got the free pre-frozen fish as well. You can either fry that, or now you get it prepared and you just put it in the oven for 25 minutes. Yeah, the kids just
McCain,
eat it.
that McCain has got a lot to answer for.
Well, they found a market, they exploited it. Um, Convenience foods. I mean, there was a time when the fish and chips was considered convenience food. Now it's inconvenient because you physically got to leave your home, walk.
Well, I'm sure that Just Eats will do something with the
Yeah,
chippy, But even so, we're talking about a way of life that's going to
yeah.
vanish in
Well,
five
that's what I
years.
mean. It was a social hub on a Friday. There was the queue. And like people used to go, hello, Ethel, hello, Fred, how you doing? You found out what was happened to these people were okay, a community.
And Fred
Um,
life in, yeah,
yeah, probably be more up north than down south, admittedly, because you are a little bit more friendly up north. I will admit that. I lived up there. I found it too friendly. Um, but yeah,
Lancashire, Lancashire is quite heavy on fish and chips.
yeah.
Yorkshire, I put in second place.
Mhm.
Uh, Scotland is more Mars bars being fried, deep fried.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a bit weird
Yeah,
up there.
so they say.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Um, there are fads. Yeah, I mean, the Mars bar thing has been around for a while now. I couldn't think of a worst thing, but yeah, that's cheap. That's actually cheap for probably cheap for the chippy to do. Just yeah, bar in it goes.
That's
Um,
batter first.
yeah, but um, yeah, it was a staple. It was a staple diet. I won't say it's a healthy diet.
I
Um,
don't. I think it quite could quite be. These days, they're saying that if you use cooking oil,
mm,
they used to say that if you use cooking oil instead of lard, it's more healthy for you. Now they're saying the contrary.
well, they don't
It's,
know. Yeah, I mean,
well, of
okay.
course, it's like the yolk of an egg has more cholesterol than the white of an egg. Now
Yeah,
it's the white of the egg that's got all the cholesterol than the yolk, and they're just batting it about.
yeah,
I just can't believe it's not butter. Butter.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, what I would say to people, if you want to have the occasional fish and chip, if you're not training for an Olympic event or something, have it. Um, I did actually see a story one day of this is going back some years when Manchester United were actually a good team. And I'm not a Manchester United supporter, by the way. I'm a Spurs supporter, so I'm in no position to criticise any other teams at the moment.
Probably
Um,
why they don't have any fish and chip shops in Tottenham.
yeah, well, Um, actually, there are. I know one
Yeah,
good one there.
go on,
Yeah.
go on.
But yeah, Manchester, and they literally arranged it, but they had the team. Ferguson allowed the team to go and get fish and chips as a team, which was probably a team building thing. Mainly probably the British players. Um, but yeah, it was a sort of social thing, and I think they phoned the chippy in advance with, and they said, but they were Man United supporters. And suddenly, yeah, a minibus shows up, and out come all the team. I think it was a team building exercise, and probably a little bit of virtual signaling. Hey, we're part of the community as well, possibly, which a football club should be, admittedly. Um, and Yeah, I heard this on the radio, and but the woman speaking, who was the owner, was very excited. She got to meet, the Man United players personally. I don't know. I don't know if it was on Alex Ferguson's credit card. It all got paid or not. I didn't find that out.
Well, they may not be doing that in another 5 years.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be optimistic to think if Manchester United are there in another 5 years, that's the rate they're going. But yeah.